Guys, this video is brought to you by our friends at Ridge. This incredible wallet, it's light, it's sleek, it's industrial, and you already know it's seriously changed my whole pocket game. Now is the time for you to upgrade your wallet. Guys, check this out. Ridge wallets hold up to 12 cards, plus all the cash that you're gonna need. There's over 30 colors and styles. That includes carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It is the best wallet you can buy. And I don't want you to just take my word for it, because there's over 30,000 five-star reviews. I admit I was skeptical at first, but once I tried it, I never went back to my old wallet. And for you guys, there's no pressure. Test this thing out for 45 days. If you don't love it, send it back, get a full refund. If you decide to keep it, there's even a lifetime warranty. Ridge is offering up to 40% off on select products site-wide right now until December 22nd. So go to ridge.com/Chael. Be sure to use the promo code Chael, or just click on the link below. All right, I made some phone calls. And that's not me. Right, but I'm not that guy. Ariel makes some phone calls. Akamoto and Ramondi, right? They come and bring you guys news. I wait for them to do the news, and I bring an opinion on their news. But I made some phone calls, right? I got ahead of this thing a little bit yesterday because, and I got to leave it at that. I've got source, I got to leave it at that. I asked the people, can I cite you? Even invited one of them on, who is a big name that you guys would know, and you know he did accurate information. No, couldn't do it. It just had to do with Pereira making the claim to Ariel about himself that not only would he fight Chimaev, he agreed that he was confronted by UFC decision makers to fight Chimaev, and he said yes. And he even offered us a little bit of detail, which was the weight class, which was 205 pounds, right? I mean, if a guy's out there working, if he's out there lying and bluffing and he's trying to look like, he would have said, I said 185. I was going to put my title on line. I would risk everything against him. I'm so sure that I can beat him. He didn't do that. He said, I can't get to 185. I don't think he deserves a title anyway, but I'll fight him. We'll go do it at 205. I can make that easy. And he went a step further to say Chimaev turned it down. Right, that's where the problem comes. We're not even having a discussion here if that part wasn't added. Chimaev took massive issue with that. And Chimaev does not want that on the street. He does not want word in the locker room, in the back, or in any of your minds that it's anything less than anyone, anywhere, anytime. So Chimaev took an issue with it, and I believe Chimaev. I thought that he was quite sincere, and I have a hard time imagining that he would turn it down in the first place. I have a harder time imagining that Dana ever considered putting it on. But if the house was on fire and you were in a jam, and it does appear a week ago, maybe they were in that situation, considering they lost their main event. As a matter of fact, they even lost their champion. I mean, it would just appear, if you want to play this game just for a minute, that maybe you did have a situation recently, which is in line with Alex Pereira's claim, where you did need something big. Okay. Chimaev says he didn't turn it down. Pereira says he did. Now, do we have a liar or do we have a misunderstanding? So I called this person, okay? I said, look, I don't know Pereira. Not only do I not know him, that I can contact him or I've met him or got a relationship with him, I don't know of him enough. I thought he's a long, lanky kickboxer that came over to the UFC and is about to get beat up by Sean Strickland. Then I went into, okay, I know he's a long, lanky kickboxer in the UFC who's about to get beat up by Adesanya, and that's where it was at. And then all of a sudden, he shoots crossbows and stuff, and we start to learn of his indigenous culture. And I started to get more interested in this guy. Like, he's pulls me in, but I don't know him, and I don't even know enough about him. So my question to the person that would be in the know, was he working? Was that meant to piss off Chimaev? Was that meant to put himself out there? Or does he believe that he was offered that fight? And moreover, does he believe that Chimaev turned it down? And this person fully understood the question. They'd seen the piece on Ariel, knew exactly what I was getting at. And he said, Alex Pereira will fight Chimaev. And he said, but Alex Pereira is going to 205 pounds. Okay. We're now talking about something different than what I called about. What do you mean? What do you mean he's going to 205 pounds? He's going under 205 pounds, and he's going to try to fight Chimaev, of which they're never going to make, because Chimaev's not a 205 pounder. He's fighting Colby Covington anyway. He says, no, hold on. Set the Chimaev aside. That was discussed, and Pereira said that he would do it. I said, was that discussed on a decision-making level at the UFC? He said, no. He said, no, that was when his own camping team, and it was social media, and he did let his own team know that he would do that. That did not involve the UFC booking red corner and blue corner. Okay, that answers my question, but now I want to talk about what you're talking about. What do you mean he's going to 205 pounds? So he's going to 205 was the plan all along. He said the plan all along was that Pereira would stay out of 205 for as long as Glover had the reign. And now, in the event of the idea that Glover is no longer the champion, Pereira is going to 205. Okay. Now, before you go and report this in Chael and breaking news, or maybe you know me well enough to know who my source is, hold on a second. Just make sure you understand. Statements are true if they're true in that moment. Our landscape changes very quickly. But I could see it. I believe it. It makes sense to me. Pereira is huge. We know that. Pereira was going to 85. I wondered, is this fully about Izzy? Or is this also a little bit of a Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez situation, where because of the training room and respect of two friends, they're going to skin the cat by staying in separate divisions? I'll tell you, just growing up in the world of wrestling, I saw that all the time. Tons and tons, 10, 15 examples of brothers, actual brothers on teams, sometimes twins. So they had to plan it that way. Other ones were just really good friends. They even went off to college together, and they were roommates. They were such good, and they would just stay in different weight classes. It's a common thing. And when I saw the pictures of Pereira standing next to Dominic Reyes, when I saw Pereira towering over Adesanya, right? I'm told that Pereira is 6'4", but I was also told Andre the Giant was 7'2". Sometimes you just say things. And then I saw him standing, what should have been eye to eye with Adesanya. Pereira's an inch to 2 inches taller than Adesanya. I just realized this is a big guy. That's my only point. This is a big guy. Sure, he wants to go up to 205 pounds. Why would he want to go down to 185? And even if in my own mind, I'm asking myself, is he at 185 to show respect to Glover? Is he at 185 to get Adesanya? Even if those were the two questions that I proposed to myself, they've both been solved. I've got no other reasons for him to be at 185. He is no nemesis at 85. He has nobody challenging and calling him out at 85. 85 pounders that are being extremely respectful. They want to fight him. They might even see something there, but they're doing anything but promoting a fight. As a matter of fact, nobody's promoted a fight against him, to the point that I openly will predict for you it's going to be with Israel Adesanya. But what would Pereira's mindset be? I came in here, I cut the weight, I sacrificed, I climbed up the ranks, I did it all to fight and beat Adesanya. I have done that. I'm out to a more comfortable lifestyle. I'm out to a more reasonable weight class. Because what if he does go to 205 pounds? I mean, it does change things. Sure, Izzy could fall. I get that we could play that game. 205 pounds has massive problems right now. 205 pounds is guaranteed to have their biggest problem in a week. It's 50 of this and 50 of that. They got one problem called Jan Blachowicz, or they got another problem called Ankalaev. They are going to have a massive problem. But all of a sudden, Pereira slides in. Pereira versus Ankalaev, who you guys are probably going to be more familiar with over the coming days. Pereira versus Jan Blachowicz. I just changed things greatly. I didn't just create a blockbuster hit for you. I didn't just create the fight of the year, but boy, did I ever change things. I just changed it 70%. I just changed it 80%. What are you going to do at 205 pounds if you got Blachowicz at the top? What are you going to do? I mean, what did you do the first time? What are you going to do if you got Ankalaev at the time? I'm sharing for you, and I'm not looking to be a jerk to these guys. It's an interesting division, right? It wasn't all done to them. There was action and reaction, right? They're the best fighter in the world. They had Jon Jones. He threw the belt back. He leaves. They're rising up. They're sorting out really good fighters. I'm just talking about interest and storylines and some back and forth, and I'm telling you that we've got some real problems there. But if you take any one of those guys and you put in a Alex Pereira, that's interesting. Really interesting. Now you're going to start the dialogue of Jon Jones is coming back and he should go there and this is the one guy that he can't beat. I mean, that gained major momentum when it was Adesanya versus Jon Jones. Now you got Pierre and you got this big guy. Look, that's not the direction I think that we're going to go. I'm just sharing for you. I made a couple of proposals there that are a hell of a lot more interesting than anything you want to do with Uncle Live or anything you want to do with Blachowicz. If Pierre was to walk away from 85 and go up, they're going to have to put that strap back out. I don't know how well that's going to sit with Adesanya. I don't know. We would have to ask him. I don't know if he wants to go back and try to reclaim a championship. I think now he's just got Pierre issues. Pierre goes 205. I have a feeling you now have Adesanya at 205. I don't know. If you can talk Pierre out of it and you can get him back down to 85 and you can start to snuggle him in somewhere, right? I mean, a different day. What a difference a day makes. But making 185 pounds is not just physical. It is mental. You are committed to that or you are not. And if Pierre had a level of commitment that came with a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice, but it had a date. By God, it had a date. And you guys can relate to that. I don't love studying for math tests, but I'm going to do it. Well, when you graduate high school, you're not now studying for the math test. That was the deal that you had with yourself, and you fulfilled it. You're out, right? It's a very mental thing. If Pierre made a deal with himself, I am going to stay here as uncomfortable as life is until Glover is no longer champion. And now we're at that date. If he has let that mental part of it go, he's not going back to 85. I believe that's reasonable, that his plan the whole time was to go to 205. I believe he was down there because of Glover and to respect. Those things are removed. Is Pierre still an 85-pounder? If he is, who do you want to see him fight? But if he's not, if he's a 205-pounder, I don't think I need to ask you who he's going to fight. I think I can tell you he's going to fight the winner of Blachowicz and Ankalaev, and ding, 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 for the first time in history, that fight just became interesting.